characters. The defeat hits Deku hard. He couldn't keep his promise to All Might, and he feels like a failure as a result. He suggests that maybe another student would be a better successor. However, the fact that he pushed himself so far, in part for Todoroki's sake, only further convinces All Might that he has the spirit of a hero. And as we now learn, All Might was also born quirkless, so not only does he see potential in Deku far beyond where he's at now, he also sees a bit of himself in him. With his mentor's encouragement, the defeat ultimately spurs Deku on to further improvement, rather than breaking him. Although it's worth noting that it does leave his right hand twisted and scarred, a permanent physical reminder of his limitations and need to move past them. The fight also marks a turning point for Todoroki, allowing him to realize that while he got it from his father, his firepower is still his own, and that perhaps by holding it back, he's just letting his father control him in a different way. So he goes into the next rounds of the tournament trying not to think about his father at all, instead of trying to stick it to him. This fight has made him both a stronger person and a stronger fighter by enabling him to use his fire powers, although he still hesitates in using them since he's only just made this breakthrough and he hasn't really completed his growth yet. On that note, as I mentioned before, this is also a major shakeup in the story structure of this entire arc. Even in your average shonen battle tournament where the protagonist is supposed to lose and learn a valuable lesson about how far they have to go, you expect them to at least make it to the semi-finals, not be knocked out in the second round. The outcome of this fight turns our expectations as an audience on their head and leaves no clear answer as to who can possibly win it all. Todoroki is the favorite, but both Ida and Bakugo are very capable and have their own rivalries with Deku. And with the main event of the tournament, at least as far as the audience is concerned, over early, it feels like it could be anyone's game, which is something that I see a lot of good sports anime do. Haikyuu and Baby Steps are very good at making you understand and root for their rival characters, while shonen battle series can often fall a little flat in that department. Now, the flip side of that inversion is that it sets up the final battle to be a bit of an anticlimax, but when it is anticlimactic, Bakugo gets appropriately mad about it, which turns it into a strong and unexpected character moment in its own right. This isn't the first big surprise in Hiroaka, nor will it be the last. For a series that feels so much like an old-school Shonen Jump story, I'm amazed with how consistently this anime manages to catch me off guard. Beyond the powerful emotional weight behind it, it's that element that really makes this fight stand out. In spite of its relative simplicity, it's definitely a brawl for the Animele Hall of Fame. Now, speaking of the whole Animele thing, I'm sure you're wondering what that's all about. The long and short of it is that way back last summer, right after this fight happened, I was thinking about retooling What's in a Fight for an external project, and I wrote this as a sort of test script. That project ultimately didn't come to fruition for various reasons, but I still like the idea of differentiating fight scene analysis from what's in an OP, and the fight commentary style of presentation in general. So instead of not covering fights anymore because I'm waffling on creative decisions, I figure I'll leave this to you. Do you like this new segmented format, or the older, simpler what's in a fight style? Let me know in the comments below, and be honest, because your input is going to affect how I talk about fight scenes moving forward with this channel. And while you're down there, if you want to subscribe and ring the notification bell, well, golly gee whiz, I sure would appreciate that. I also greatly appreciate the support of my patrons: Bob Harris, Jisoo Seo, Blocked Writer, Queeper, Alial Solial, Divide by Zero, Blue Butterfly F, Light Rapid, Bing Theo, Eric Weber, Tenlade Cosplay, Tate Fancher, Jacob Piatek, and all the names scrolling by on the right. It's you guys who make it possible for me to do what I do. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm Jeff Thu, professional shitbag, signing out from my mother's basement. What is it that makes a great fight scene great? What separates the contenders from the also-rans? Join me as I pick through the best fights in anime, scrape by scrape and blow by blow to find out. I'm Jeff Thu, and this is Animele. Today we're going back to the world of My Hero Academia to take a look at what I think is this show's best fight so far, and one of the all-time best fights in anime, period. All Might vs. All for One does everything that a good fight scene needs to, and goes beyond.